PENGU price prediction. Will PENGU be the next 100 times Memecoin? Most crypto investors are still annoyed that they were way too late for the bigger Memecoins. And this is exactly where PENGU comes into play, a coin that brings together community branding and real utility. Today, I'll show you whether PENGU really has the potential to be the next 100 times winner. Welcome to Crypto, your channel for similar data-driven altcoin analyses. Hardly any project has so quickly built a bridge between NFTs, memes, and real utility like PENGU. PENGU is much more than just a meme coin, as I already mentioned. It is the official token of the well-known NFT collection with over 50 billion views on social media. The project started in 2021 as an Ethereum NFT. And in December 2024, they launched the token on Solana. Why Solana? Well, because Solana of course offers extremely fast, cheap and energy-efficient transactions. So if you missed out on Doge or Shiba, then you definitely need to stay tuned now. What makes PENGU so unique? Over 500,000 holders and one of the most active communities out there. Second, utility. PENGU isn't just a meme coin. You can stake it, use it in games, buy merchandise at a discount and vote with it. It actually has a ton of use cases. Third, the branding. Peng. Real partnerships with Walmart, Amazon, and global toy licenses. That, of course, gives the cryptocurrency reach, extending beyond crypto investors into the real world. Many meme coins really offer speculation and no real utility. But PENGU, on the other hand, combines memes with real-world applications. Access to events, community hubs, use in the metaverse, integration, staking, governance. And best of all, it solves the biggest problem in the NFT space, the lack of utility. So what's the story behind it? The project tells the story of the PENGU prophecy, cute but strong, a movement against negativity and a community for good vibes. This cultural approach also makes PENGU exciting in the long term because it naturally attracts new investors from outside the crypto world. And honestly, who could ignore 8,888 little penguins standing on the shelves at Walmart? Before we dive into the full analysis, grab yourself a coffee, leave a like for me, and if you want to become an insider yourself, check out my free group, the 10x Insiders. There we exchange secret tips about the altcoin market, exciting altcoin gems, everything is free discussion and insights into my 10 times elite. You can find all the information in the video description. But attention, a disclaimer. My channel does not provide financial advice. It is purely for informational purposes. Now let's move on to the market cap. PENGU is currently at $1.8 billion. So this is a mid cap, not a micro game anymore, but still far from the big players. The peak was over 3 billion market cap shortly before the launch. This shows there is enormous growth potential here if the market picks up again. That's why you should pay attention to this area. Circulating supply. Over 70% of the tokens are already in circulation. This means there is hardly any risk of dilution, a low risk of dumping, and no nasty surprises in this area. Extremely positive. Unclaimed tokens are even burned, which is of course also extremely strong. This also strengthens the price in the long term. That's why this area also gets a strong 9. Now let's move on to the roadmap because the roadmap is clear. Games, metaverse, global expansion with toys and merchandise, Walmart and Amazon are already partners, and this isn't just a vision, it's already reality. On top of that, there's staking, governance, and community events. A strong 8. Then there's the team led by Luca Netz, but the project was taken over by him in 2022. In addition, there's strong leadership in the APAC region, namely with Amazon Pango. The team has proven that they can turn NFTs into a global branding phenomenon, a strong 8. Next, the narrative. The PENGU prophecy. Cute but strong. So a meme coin with positive energy. A counter movement to the negative crypto investors. 50 billion views on social media speak for themselves. The narrative is contemporary and has global appeal. 9. So what problem are they actually solving? Many NFTs have the same problem. They simply have no utility. But PENGU solves this by making PENG usable in games, events, merchandise, and even in the metaverse. Here, community building is absolutely the main focus. And that's not just an empty phrase, it's the heart of the project. 8. What about sustainability and energy efficiency? PENGU runs on Solana. We all know Solana is extremely energy efficient, using only as much energy per transaction as, let's say, a Google search. so energy consumption is low, almost unbeatable ecologically, compared to proof of work. Strength, 9 in this area. Then what about the investors? Big names like BAYC? None, but they have solid funding through NFT sales, merchandise, and exchange listings. The team has already proven that they use their capital efficiently. So A7 here? Next, who are the competitors? Direct competitors are of course Bonk, Shiba, Doge, and Apecoin. But PENGU has a clear advantage. The real-world branding, Walmart, Amazon, toys. This isn't just a crypto hype. A strong 8 in this area. If we look at the competition here, things get really interesting because many altcoins are fighting for market share, but only a few actually have substance and have lasted in the long run. And that's exactly why I built the 10 times universe. A playlist where I show you various altcoins in direct comparison and how they perform. So if you don't know it yet, make sure to check it out and definitely subscribe to my channel, because next weekend I have 2 more exciting altcoins that could really stir things up in this competitive environment. Check it all out. Take a look at the playlist in the video description and turn on the bell, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your support. Now, market, 50 billion views. Presence on social media, toys, Walmart, global events. PENGU operates on a completely different level when it comes to marketing. A strong 9. Then how simple is the idea? Cute penguins? Community and utility? Simply charming and easy to understand, especially for people who aren't crypto investors. A strong 9. So what about the long-term vision? You could basically call it the Mickey Mouse of Web3. From NFTs to global branding like toys, games, and the metaverse. 5 million new users as a goal. Definitely a strong 8 here. So what about the token? Deflationary, with a maximum of 888 billion tokens. No inflationary mining, on the contrary, burns are planned. A strong 9. So what about the fully diluted market capitalization? It's at 1.4 times the market cap. That's very healthy, hardly any dilution in this area. That's also positive. A strong 9. So what about the volume, meaning the liquidity? The 24-hour volume was at 273 million recently. That's about 15% of the market cap. That means they are extremely liquid, and that's remarkable. Extremely strong. A strong 10 here. So how does it look? How was the token distribution at the beginning of the token? The team has a lockup period. The community received fair airdrops. There was no dangerous centralization. It was fair. A strong 8. So what about the top coin holders? Over 500,000 holders. No dangerous whales. Instead, the tokens are widely distributed, which is also positive. A strong 8. So what about the utility? Governor staking, in-game assets, events and merchandise. The utility is broad and relevant. A strong 8 in this area. So what about the community? Ultimately, the community is the heart of it all. The huddle is extremely active. Discord, X, YouTube. Regional meetups from poker nights to blockchain events. Definitely a strong 9 here. Do you hold PENGU yourself, or are you a fan of the penguins? Write it in the comments. I'm curious to see how strong the community is on YouTube, because I do a poll every Sunday and everyone wanted me to analyze PENGU. That's what I've done here. I'd appreciate it if you support me for this, so feel free to write a lot in the comments and like the video. Thank you for your support. So what other events are coming up? In Q4 they have penguin parties and more precisely a tournament. They want to have new integrations in the metaverse, new brand collaborations, so they're well positioned for the next 6 to 12 months when it comes to updates. Oh, do you know what the biggest fear of most crypto investors is? Not the crash, but missing out. FOMO. And that's exactly what could happen with PENGU if you don't have the coin on your radar. In my analysis, PENGU scored a full 82.3%. That's a top score in the ranking on my 10 times ranking list, especially for a meme coin. Strong market cap with solid growth potential. A fair tokenomics with over 70% already in circulation. A roadmap that has delivered so far. Games, toys, partnerships. Then massive branding power, a strong community. The community is stronger than with many competitors. And of course, a narrative that fits the meme coin hype, but at the same time, isn't just meme coin hype because they're not built on hype, but on clear substance. That's why, for me, PENGU isn't a typical meme coin without substance. It's an extremely strong project with community, branding and utility, combining all of that, which makes it extremely exciting and a must-have on every watchlist. Whether it will be the next 100 times coin is up to the market to decide, but the foundation is there, and that's what sets PENGU apart from many other meme coins. And now comes the big part. You want to know which ones I hold in my personal portfolio and whether I hold PENGU for the long term. Then the Zenix Elite is exactly what you need. There you get full access to the Zenix ranking list you just saw, including altcoin analyses that I haven't shared on YouTube yet, all as a PDF. A compact analysis, but also direct insights into coins I buy or sell, and my Zenix indicator. You can find all the information in the video description, in the pinned comment, or just look here and scan the QR code. Do you know what always fascinates me about crypto investors? How quickly a sudden meme can turn into a billion-dollar project. And that's exactly what makes PENGU so exciting. It's not a meme, it's a whole movement. Now let's look at the pricing scenarios. Bear scenario. Imagine that markets remain sluggish, confidence declines, and meme coins continue to lose hype. Then PENGU could trade at 2 to 4 cents, simply because the community is still so strong. Then we come to the normal scenario. Imagine the market recovers and altcoins head toward a new all-time high. In this environment, PENGU could secure its place and rise to as much as 5 to 10 cents. Not a dream, but a solid project. Now let's move on to the optimistic scenario. Imagine the Memecoin hype returns and really picks up steam again. Social media explodes, new partnerships emerge, the community grows rapidly, then we are talking about 15 to 20 cents. That would be a multiplication of the current price. Now let's move on to a very optimistic scenario. And what if PENGU becomes what Doge and Shiba once were, but with real utility and branding behind it? Then we could see 40 cents. Yes, that already sounds crazy, but if the foundation is there, it's mathematically possible. And now let's talk about what happens in 2030, the ultimate scenario. If the entire crypto market grows to $40 trillion by 2030 and PENGU establishes itself as a global meme coin icon, then PENGU could head towards $1. Not today, not tomorrow, but the vision is there and mathematically it's also possible. If you want to buy or trade PENGU or other altcoins, then I recommend my favorite partnerships. And for 10 times members, there's even a special offer. With the code, you'll get a bonus, but only for a short time. So feel free to scan the QR code or check everything out in the pinned comment. Secure your bonus now. Now let's take a look at my chart analysis. What's happening? What would I do now? What is my next step? Yes, hello and welcome to my chart analysis of PENGU. First, I'll explain it to you very briefly. I use TradingView and a custom developed indicator that basically shows when a coin is in the overbought area, or rather oversold. For example, that means a lot of people have bought. That means we're entering overbought areas here. This is indicated by a red dot. And the other way around, when a lot of people are selling, then it's shown with a green dot. A green dot means entry points for me, red is more for exit points. So what does it look like for PENGU right now? As you can see, it came onto the market here at Maxi and then dropped massively. And here at that point, we basically saw a good entry point. That was a very good entry point. And now we've reached the top here. But on the daily chart, we had a sell-off here. We've entered oversold areas. What does it look like at the moment? We can see that there was a sell-off. A green dot has also formed, which indicates a trend reversal, a positive one. What's important is that what happened in my past doesn't necessarily have to happen in the future. But I always use it as a data source to ultimately be able to make the right decisions. That was my analysis and forecast for PENGU. If you want more analyses like this, then click here for the next video. This is an analysis that's also very exciting and one you shouldn't miss. Especially now during the altcoin season, I recommend that you take a look at this altcoin. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.